Indeed a pleasure to see all of you here. It makes us at the Seabed Authority feel very, very good because this is a very important topic for us. We have a number of groups who keep coming back to come and ask us what we're doing to protect the environment. Earlier this year, we were bombarded by one group asking similar questions. As we move forward, I hope that the answers will become clearer to everybody. I want to thank Chris and the GSR for inviting us to be able to convene this workshop here. As you all know, the International Seabed Authority administers all the mineral resources of the seabed in marine areas beyond the limits of national jurisdiction. The limits are defined also by the extended continental shelves, for which there's a commission that was set up to do this. They've been doing their work. Our early guesstimates is that this is almost 50% of the planet's surface. It's a huge amount of area. We are currently engaged with contractors for 3 types of mineral resources. Polymetallic nodules, for which we're here today, ferromanganese crusts, and polymetallic sulfides. Our job is to provide rules, regulations, and procedures for mining of these resources, and at the same time for protecting the environment from the impacts of mining. Presently, nobody is mining. We do have exploration contracts, however, with 23 entities. I suspect that by July of next year, it will rise to a total of 27. One of our biggest concerns has been the fauna associated with all of these mineral resources. After years of work, including workshops, where we invited experts from different countries who had been engaged in deep seabed mining and who had also been looking at the environmental impact of deep seabed mining, it became quite clear that one of the first things we had to address was the impact of mining on the fauna associated with those mineral resources. After about 10 years, we were established 21 years ago, a little over 21 years ago. It took us a good long time to develop rules, regulations, and procedures to be able to give out exploration contracts. We did indeed do that. I'm very proud on behalf of the authority to let everybody know that we do have 3 sets of regulations covering the mineral resources I talked about earlier, the nodules, the crusts, and sulfides. We've been also very much engaged in working out ways to ensure that we protect the environment. Our Legal and Technical Commission, which is a body established to advise our council and consequently our assembly on matters to do with a range of issues, starting with regulations such as those I've talked about, and also to provide guidance to each of our contractors on the work that they should do, the kind of data and information they should provide us. Our Legal and Technical Commission has been exceptionally busy. I must admit, I really do feel for them at times because they meet a total of something like 3 weeks in a year, and they're expected to complete a variety of tasks and make the results of these tasks available to the Council of the Authority. They've been doing very, very well. We do have 2 of them with us, and I'm very glad for that. Dr. David Billett and Elva Escobar, they're both sitting together on this side of the room. They've been doing a lot of good work, and I'm happy for them. Today, we are embarking on the third in a series of workshops we've been holding to standardize the taxonomy of the fauna associated with polymetallic nodules. This came about 5-6 years ago when I invited the contractors, the heads of the various units that had exploration contracts with us, to a meeting in Kingston. We requested from each of them images of the fauna they had identified around their exploration areas. They did bring these images. The images were looked at by a couple of taxonomists who were present. We found out that the nomenclature they were using to describe these fauna were quite different. Indeed, it wasn't the Seabed Authority per se who requested it, but it was the contractors who suggested that it would be a very good idea if we could hold workshops to standardize the taxonomy of these fauna. And we began the process. The first one was on megafauna, the second one was on macrofauna, and now we have this one on Meiofauna. What we're trying to do is to make sure that everybody is using the same nomenclature. I'll go a step further, not just for contractors, we also have prospectors for these deep sea minerals. Nobody is going to come and produce a plan of work to submit to us without having initially taken a broad look at areas that might have nodule resources and that might be amenable to mining. It's at the end of all of that I believe we get a plan of work for exploration, where much of this information is for a smaller area and in a more detailed fashion. I see a lot of experts. I'm happy to see some contractors also here. I think this is going to be a bold move. If we can finish the third one, put together some documentation with the assistance of the Legal and Technical Commission, and make this information available to all contractors, prospectors, marine scientific researchers, to conduct their work on the fauna and the nomenclature for the fauna in this similar way. We believe that we will help the international community out tremendously. Once again, I want to thank all of you for coming. I wish to see something at the end of this that justifies the interest that the contractors themselves had in establishing a standardized nomenclature for all of the fauna. Thank you again.